Hello, my name is Greg Perkins and I'm the instructor for this Math 2 class. It is the spring of 2024 and let's go ahead and find out how this class works. So first of all, let's take a look at the syllabus, which is going to be emailed to you. It's also on Canvas here under the syllabus. I'm sure that I'll put it again right here in week 1 assignments, but anyway, here's the syllabus. So the best way to contact me is the gperk@hartnell.edu. I do have in-person office hours in the Salinas campus in room D261, and that's each Monday and Wednesday from 10:15 to 11:15. And then also we can meet on Zoom. If you just email me and say you want to meet on Zoom, we can agree on a time and I can help you out there. So this being an online class, the homework is going to be done with Pearson's MyLab. And since it's math, it's my math lab. And I'm going to talk a little more about that later, about how you sign up and how you actually do the homework. It would also be good to have a graphing calculator from Texas Instruments. The TID4 is excellent. I'm going to be using that in the videos and the lectures to show you how to use that. So when we go over to Canvas, you'll see that for each section of the class, and with this being a late start class, I basically just divided it by weeks. So rather than saying chapter 1, section 2, etc., we're just going by here's what you do week 1, here's week 2, week 3. So for each week, there's a video lecture, and basically with those, it takes about 45 minutes to get through the week's material as far as the lecture part. I try to keep the theory down to just what we need and try to do a lot of examples in those videos. And then you can also take a look at the notes, which I'll show you on Canvas in a moment. So if you scroll down here, there's basically 3 things that you need to do each week. There's going to be a problem set, which is basically a worksheet that I made up myself. And those worksheets or those problem sets are actually half of your grade. There's the online My Math Lab homework. And then also every Wednesday there will be a participation quiz. So participation quizzes will be done on Canvas every Wednesday. And at the beginning it's just going to be, hey, tell me about yourself. Did you sign up for My Math Lab? How's that going? Things like that. And then as we progress, I will be asking some math questions on those quizzes as well. And you can use your notes. You can, hopefully you don't need your notes for the what's your major and those type of questions. And when we go and look at the My Math Lab, you will need this code to make sure that you're in our class. So I'm just going to copy that right now, the Perkins 17067. There are no exams. There are no quizzes. I mean, I call the participation quizzes, but I mean, you can use your notes. So it's not like you have any stressful type exam or test or anything like that. So basically, if you do the work, then you're going to pass the class. All right. One other thing is with the problem sets, which I'll show you in a moment, then when you do the work, you do need to write out all of the steps. It's not the answer that's important. It's being able to do the work and show the steps. And then also, no late work accepted. Here are all the due dates. And if you follow it, it's basically every other day, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Wednesday, that's always the participation quiz. Every Friday, that's when the online homework is due. And then problem set number 1 would cover what we did in week 1, and it won't be due until Monday, February 12th. And then you start again. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and all of the dates are here for the whole semester. So everything is already spelled out, so you can just follow along with that. All right, now let's go and look at Canvas. So here is the Canvas page, and I just put everything here by week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. So week 1, in fact, the first 2 weeks are going to be review of algebra and pre-calculus. So not an extensive review, but the things that we definitely need in the upcoming calculus part that we're going to be doing. So every time you come here, you'll see which week we're on. Week 1, algebra review, that's February 5th through the 9th. And then you would go and watch the video that I made. So let me just start that. For some reason the sound is off. So anyway, so you watch this video and I basically work out a bunch of examples, and you're basically looking down at the paper, and part of the reason for that is I need to use the calculator a lot, and to be able to show you the calculator, that's the best way to do it. So you would watch the video, and with the video, when I was finished, what I did is I took those pages and then I just scanned them, so you can also follow along if you want to print it out and then write on here as I go through the examples, any extra notes, etc. So those are there to help you out. And then the MyMathLab homework is due on Friday. So basically you could watch the video, check out the notes, and then after that you should be able to move on over to the MyMathLab and do the homework. And with the MyMathLab, I also made videos. So let me just pop that one open. I don't know why my YouTube sound is off. Okay, doesn't matter. So basically with this, what I did is, rather than me showing you the screen, because then I can't show you how to do the work, I just printed out some example. I mean, these are literally the homework questions. This is number 17. Now, when you open number 17, they're going to change the numbers, but it's going to be the same question. So I don't do all of them, but I pick some of the ones that, especially they're like worded a little bit different than what I did in the lecture part. And so then I show you step by step how to do those and how to use your calculator with it, etc. So I usually do maybe 7 or 8 of the homework questions, so that I know that between the lecture video and then this homework video that I've covered everything that's going to be on the homework. All right, let's go back to all right, so you've watched the video, you checked out the notes, you did the homework, and perhaps watched the video with the examples from the MyMathLab. And then that would be week 1, Monday through Friday. You would also take the participation 1 quiz, which if you click on that, it takes you to the quiz. And this one is basically just, what's your educational goal? What's the last math class you took? And things like that. So this one, you should definitely be able to get 100% on. Like I said, I would then start asking some math questions with the participation quiz, but I'll also say things like, you know, like in the second week, I think I say, hey, on problem set number 1, by then you should have seen it graded. How did you do on that? What did you think? Do you have any questions? Things like that. But there will also be some math questions on the participation quizzes. Okay, then once you're done with that week's work, which is the algebra review, then you do problem set number 1. And I made these up myself. And it would be best if you print it out. Each one is going to be 3 pages long with lots of space to show your work. And these are examples. I did examples like this in the videos, and then also on the online homework, they have examples very similar to this. So nothing new here, just basically, can you actually write this out and show me that you know how to do these things? So the best way to do it is print these out, or if you have some type of tablet, then you could do your work on there. And then either way, it should be handwritten. And then you create a PDF. And when you're done with it, you go over here to assignments. And then you would, oh, I haven't put it in there yet, but right here under problem sets, you'd click on problem set number 1. And then that's where you upload it. And that's due every Monday. So that means that on Tuesday, I'll be grading those. And I just get my little iPad right here, and I can pull it up and I can actually write on it. and then you'll be able to see my writing on there in red. Okay, so that's basically how the class works. And then we go on to week 2 is about functions, and then week 3 is exponential and log functions. So actually the first 3 weeks is review of algebra and pre-calculus type topics. It's actually not until week 4 when we start the limits that's the actual calculus part. So the first 3 weeks are review. And the setup is the same every time. There's the video, the notes, participation quiz, etc. Okay, so if you need to take a break, right now would be a good time to pause. And then I'm going to go and show you the online homework. So that's the other piece that we need to go over. So if I open up a new tab and I just say Pearson, or even My Math Lab, and then so you would sign in if you already have an account with Pearson. If not, then register as a student. It's then going to say, do you have an email address? You're going to need that course ID, which I copied from the first page of the syllabus. And then you will need a way to pay for it. So the payment is, I believe it's around $100. And you can actually use this for free for the first 2 weeks. In fact, I would recommend you do. When you get to this third step, there will be a button that says temporary access. Use that, and then you can use it for free for 2 weeks. After that, you will need to pay, I believe it's right around $100. But for the first 2 weeks, you should use it for free. Okay, so anyway, you say register, and then I put that code. And it says, Mr. Perkins, you already have an account. Okay, so next you would type in your email and create an account. And then, let me see. Okay, this is good. This is good news. Right here, it's saying you can get a 2-year license for $130. This class is only 14 weeks. You don't need a 2-year license. Get the cheaper one. So it's actually $79.99. I thought it was around $100. That's what it is for one of my other classes. But anyway, this one, get the cheaper one, $79.99. And then over here, it's just confirming Math 2, Perkins, taught by Greg Perkins, etc. Okay, so once you do that, then let me go over to, so first of all, let me make sure I really am logged in here. Yeah, I didn't think so. So let me log in, and then your Math 2. And the last time I came here, I was on assignment, so it might take you to the home page to start with, and then you can just go to assignments. So you go over here to assignments. These are also broken down by week number 1, week number 2, week number 3, week number 4, etc. And the due dates are right there. Week number 1, the 9th, and then the 16th, then the 23rd. So basically, it's just one chunk of homework. You don't have to go from one section to the other. I just put it all together. So this is week 1, algebra review. Now, when I open the next window, you might stress out a little bit, but don't. So this is the online homework for the week. And so there's going to be approximately 35 to 40 questions. That's what I was saying, don't stress out, because you might think, my gosh, that's a lot, but that is for a whole week. And some of the questions are very small and straightforward and simple. So it's not like all of them are really, really long questions or anything like that. Oh, by the way, when you sign up for the Pearson, if you haven't done this before, it's going to say make sure that you are not blocking pop-ups, because this is the way that it does the homework with these little pop-ups. So I use Google Chrome, and if it's blocking a pop-up, over here in the right-hand corner, it will say blocking a pop-up. You click on that and say allow pop-ups from Pearson's math website, and then it'll work fine. So if at the beginning you try to open something and nothing shows up, And basically, even though you clicked on it, it looks like this. It's because it's blocking the pop-ups. So then you do need to allow the pop-ups. Okay, so you can just come in here and do the homework. And if you don't need any extra help, that's fine. So you can say the product rules. So I did examples like this. And basically you would be multiplying the numbers and then adding the exponents. And so then you would put the answer right here. And if you need to type a fraction or multiply, divide, absolute value, then they give you those things down here at the bottom. And this one is for exponent. So with this one, the answer would be a -7 times a -8 is a +56. And then you add the exponent, so that's going to be x to the 12th. So I first put an x, and then I put the exponent to the 12th. And then check the answer. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say, what if I got this one wrong, and I said it's x to the 3,333. Check your answer, and it says no. And then it gives a little hint. First, multiply the coefficients, so 7 times 8. Then multiply the variables by adding the exponents. Oh, I was supposed to add them. I thought I was supposed to just randomly type the number 33333. So they give you a little hint, and you can try it again. And then you say, oh, so the answer is supposed to be 12. And, oops, that wasn't right. Oh, I didn't type a 12. That's what it is. That's silly. I said 12, but I didn't type 12. Let me type 12. And then, all right, I typed, what? That's incorrect. Okay, so basically, you can see I was just messing around. So I got that one wrong. That's okay. Now do a similar question. So you get an unlimited number of tries until eventually you get it right. So then this one would be -8 times -4 is 32, and then x. So after a while it will change the numbers a little bit, but it's still asking basically the same question. And then I add the exponents, so 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, check that one out. Yes, I did it, first try, first try. And then you go on to the next question. And notice that over here, it was red when I was messing around and getting them wrong. And now, after my 4th try, I finally got it right. So now I've got 100% so far. So there are 40 questions for the week. And you could just go through them like that by yourself. You can also say, view an example. So then what it's going to do is basically just change the numbers. Like this original one has a 13 and a -7. And this one has a -10 and a 5. And then it basically just takes you through step by step. And sometimes what I do with this is I say print, because sometimes their explanation gets sort of long. This one was pretty short. And not that I'm going to print it, but I just like to be able to open the whole thing so I don't have to follow their step by step, and then I can go through. And sometimes they put more explanation, sometimes they put less explanation, but they will show an example that's pretty much just like the one you're supposed to do. And then you can go back and, all right, say I'm done with that, and then you can go back and put the answer. Another thing you can do is, oh, by the way, this help me solve it, it's the same thing. So basically, when I say view an example, it then changes the numbers and does an example that's very similar. And then you go back and do the original problem. If you say, help me solve this, well, then it will take you step by step with this one. And then when you go to do your homework question, it will change the numbers a little bit. So just use view an example if you want to see the steps. Also, if you want my help, don't just email me and say, hey, on number 2, why do they have a 13 and a -7? Because if I open number 2, they're going to change the numbers and there's no 13 and -7. So if you have a homework question, go to Ask My Instructor. And what it will do is you can type your question here, but it will show me a page, it will show me a copy of exactly what you were looking at. So then I can see the 13 and the -7 and say, oh, okay, this is what you're supposed to do with them. There are other resources as well. So if you want to just come in here, do the homework, and that's it, that's fine. But if you do need extra help, then because it's an online system, of course, there's lots of extra help. The best, fastest way is go to Multimedia Library, and then this is basically the review. So you would go to the review, and then you could pick rational expressions, exponents, and radicals is what we were just working on, and tell it select all, and basically everything that they've created, which for this particular section is only 4 videos. So maybe if I say all of the selections and then find out what they have, so then they have a whole bunch of videos. Of course, my videos are better, but they do have lots of videos here. So you could go and watch their video. I'm just curious to see. Yeah, that looks pretty 2001. But the math hasn't changed since 2001, so that's okay.
The answer in lowest terms. 3 over x squared minus.
So every time you go to a different chapter, so you go to, let's see, when we start doing actual calculus, and you say find what they have, then they can have like animations. There's the textbook, so you can just click on this and actually read the textbook. They've got PowerPoints, they've got lots of videos, so there's lots of extra stuff to help you get through this class. All right, so right now it is February 2nd. The class starts on, so this is Friday, the class starts on Monday. I was only assigned this class like a couple days ago, and I've taught Math 2 many times, and I've taught calculus online, but I've never taught Math 2 online. So I'm basically trying to create as much stuff before Monday as I can. So basically, so far, I'm 5 weeks in. So I'm a little bit ahead of you guys, and then I'll just continue until we finish all 14 weeks. The class is 14 weeks long. All right, so that's the intro, and if you have any questions, please email me. Have a great day.